See what happens.
It seems to be working.
Hey, we're talking about Andor. Up next on Geek Out SA.
Do not attempt to adjust your YouTube video. We control the stream.
And welcome back to Geek Out SA. It's Friday and we're having fun.
No, this is not fun. I'm still trying to figure it out.
We need to get a producer.
Yeah, we do need to get a producer. Like oh my God. And I didn't realize until just now, like, your shirt is not working with this. So it's interesting.
Not yellow.
I know, but it looks like you have a dazzling, sparkly dazzly shirt.
Well, I do.
Yeah.
So
because
awesome.
Lightsabers are sparkly,
Mm-hmm.
like vampires.
No, not like vampires.
No, not like the vampires.
Nothing like that.
Nothing like that. So we definitely need a producer because I'm still like, well, we tried a different button today, and then I kind of moved the camera over at the last minute because I didn't like it. So now I've kind of got a little shadow.
Yeah.
And then Vince is like picking at stuff and moving stuff, and he's changing things on my screen that you guys can't see, and so it's like freaking my brain out and like messing with my head, and I'm trying to concentrate and talk to y'all while he's like touching all the buttons and stuff. So
that's what I do. I'm just adjusting it a little bit.
You're just adjusting it. So so it's really interesting. My friend Shelby, who's a teacher, she came a couple of episodes ago and helped us out, but I'll tell you what, this is really hard for me, and it's something that I do for Vincent because I love him, and it's something that he enjoys. And so, you know, you try to help your spouse do what makes them happy. And so I'm here, but I'm all kinds of teacher tired, and I don't think people who aren't teachers understand teacher tired, and they don't understand progress report day teacher tired.
But we digress because we're talking about Andor today.
Nobody wants to talk about Andor.
Yeah, we do want to talk about Andor.
People want to hear me talk about my life.
So yeah, so we started watching it like when it came out.
Real quick before we talk about Andor, mine is doing a weird thing.
Yeah, I know. We need to fix it.
Okay, just didn't know. Okay, so Andor was a thing.
Keep going.
I don't know.
Keep going.
So Andor was a little bit different because when they first released it, they released like 3 episodes all at once. Was that it?
3 episodes.
3 episodes all at once. So you could watch the first 3 back to back. So you could binge the first 3. But then it was episodic after that. So then you had to watch 1 episode a week like they've been doing for other things.
Right.
So it was a little bit different to, I guess they maybe, and I'm just guessing, but my thought was maybe they thought people would not be as attracted to this as they are to some of the other properties.
Well,
and so they were trying to get us in, like, get that
saw what happened
development.
with She-Hulk.
You think so?
I think so. Because they did that, and they only released 1 at a time, so you didn't really get the story that you could have gotten when you got to finally see the first 3 of She-Hulk. So I think it really like brought out She-Hulk, and I started liking it more, even more, once they did that. Once I got to see.
Well, and that was kind of what I was trying to say just now, was that they gave us those first 3 episodes so that we could binge watch those first 3 and get to know the character pretty quickly and get to have some investment in the character.
Just not killer. There's so many characters in here that they kind of like focus on. They don't just focus on one. They focus on several characters in there, and to be able to do that, you have to be able to binge it for like, but we didn't actually binge the whole thing the first time. We just saw the first two.
Yeah, I think we only made it through 2 when
Yeah.
we first started because we were tired, and so we didn't make it through the third one. And for us, we already know we're gonna watch it, so it's not like oh my god, if we don't binge it, like we're gonna lose interest in it and we're not gonna watch it. Like we're gonna watch it regardless. Even when we didn't like Batwoman, we hung in there and we watched the whole thing to see if, because we know that there are these plateaus always, and there's these building moments, you know, where you're trying to get to the beginning of the story and get to know the characters and everything. So, and Vincent always accuses me of hating those parts, and I don't hate those parts. They do kind of drag sometimes, and you're hoping that something is going to happen. But I like to get to know the characters because if I'm not invested in the character, that's when they lose me. If you don't give me something in the first couple of episodes where I care about what's going on with this character, you've lost me, and I'm not going to watch it.
We kind of have a vested interest because we saw Rogue One.
Well, so I don't, because I didn't like Rogue One.
Oh, I love Rogue One.
No, I know, but you love everything.
So, no, well, I do love everything, but the thing is, here's the thing with that. It was a great war movie.
No, so I guess I should backpedal a little because that sounded kind of wrong. It sounded like I didn't like Rogue One because there was something wrong with Rogue One. There was nothing wrong with Rogue One. I thought Rogue One was done well. That's not the style of movie that I like. I don't like the war movies. I don't want to see the war movie, right?
Right.
So for me, it was just the type of movie,
but
the
here
style.
we move more into kind of like a spy-ish espionage type of thing here.
Well, we're getting that precursor, right? And we're getting to see some of these moments as the rebellion is being built. So I'm a little more invested in it.
Right.
Because it's that. I mean, I knew kind of going into this that this was not going to be for me what Obi-Wan was, right?
Yeah,
going
Electric Dream says greetings.
Hey.
Like, hey, how's it going?
Going into Obi-Wan, I had a certain desire for what it was going to be, right? And I had a certain expectation that I kind of needed them to meet.
But this one we don't have expectations anymore because we don't know the character.
Right. Going into Andor, I already didn't like the style of movie that he was in, although I understood why that story needed to be told, right?
Right.
And I didn't think that his acting was bad or anything like that. That just wasn't my style of movie. So I knew I was going to watch it because I knew that this was the backstory of that character before they get to there. And they are giving us, I think, like enough of a Han Solo-esque vibe, which I'm sure is purposeful, right?
Mm-hmm.
In this character.
Well, they give us Fallen Order vibe in it too, because part of it looks like it happens where we start, like it starts from where Cal is.
Oh, that's funny
in
because
Fallen
Cal's
Order.
right here, actually. He fell off the wall just a little while ago. This is Cal.
So we're going to talk
Fallen
about
Order.
him today.
He knew.
I was like, talk about me.
So talk about me. I don't know how to do this like backwards and show stuff. If you haven't played, just like on an aside, if you haven't played Fallen Order, you should totally. It's a great game.
Yeah.
I cannot play video games for beans, so I totally watch.
I don't
Vincent
even know
play.
if the sequel has come out for that because I want to play that.
I don't know. We haven't even looked. We've been so busy. We haven't even looked, but just watching Vincent play and the cinematography in that game, and I like the puzzle aspect of that game and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's just really good. And I would
Thomas
love
says
to
hello.
See... Oh, hey,
hello, Thomas.
Tom. I would love to see Cal, because this kid who they modeled this after, he's an actor, and he's a pretty decent little actor. So I would love to see him come into the world as Cal and be like part of the world. I would watch that.
That would be cool.
I would totally watch that. So I would take that in Andor because it
we
doesn't
haven't
really...
seen a Jedi yet.
Yeah, no.
And I was like, are we going to see Jedi? Are we going to see Ahsoka?
Right. Well, I'm
because she should be at that time there.
Yeah, I'm assuming we're going to see some types of crossovers. We're going to have to, right? They're going to have to give us something. I would take a new Jedi or a Jedi like Cal or something that we already know of. Like, because a lot of people, if you haven't played the game, you won't know who Cal is. But if
Right.
you have, you'll get the reference and you'll enjoy the reference, so it'll be good. So that would be a way to bring in, I think, some other people, some of the gamers,
Yeah.
to watch it. Because I think the gamers could appreciate this type of war movie episodic show, right? Because
Right.
it is more like watching the game play out, kind of, in my opinion.
Well,
It-
in that respect, you saying that, it kind of, when I was watching it, kind of reminded me of like Metal Gear Solid and
Yeah.
some of the stuff like sneaking and like getting into like their uniforms and stuff like that.
Yeah, and I can totally see that. Like, I could see that being a draw for people who like to play video games. I'm definitely getting that feel from this show. And maybe I'm just making huge leaps, I don't know. But that was definitely, and especially that last episode.
And Tom says, I'm guessing not, because there weren't any in Rogue One. There weren't any Jedi, and well, there was like
Yeah, there was the guy, right?
the blind one.
The blind guy. The blind guy was a Jedi, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just didn't have a lightsaber.
Yeah. But he was still Jedi, or at least he was
Former, at least.
practicing some of it or something. I thought he was. Electric Dream says Rogue One was pretty good, but I didn't like it. Can't pinpoint why either. It has a lot of stuff going for it, and I dig Ben Mendelsohn in anything. Watch Mississippi Grind. Okay, well, we'll have to do that. Yeah, but he was not an actual Jedi. Like, he hadn't made it to like fruition or whatever of being a Jedi. Yeah, I think I remember that being the case. But just because they didn't go through,
Well, I thought he did.
was Force sensitive.
His friend, like, stopped being a Jedi, too.
yeah, or they just didn't make it. Well, they were pretty old to have not made it through the training, so.
Yeah.
I don't remember. To be quite honest, Thomas, you could potentially be correct. I think maybe I assumed that he was Jedi. Maybe they never said that. I don't know. I was thinking, since we're watching Andor, I probably need to go back and watch Rogue One again, because it's been an awful long time since I've seen it. I just don't love it, so I've been kind of dragging my feet.
But you're going to know what's going to happen.
Well, I knew what was going to happen going in. It's like watching Titanic. You know what's going to happen.
He's going to die.
Like, you know what's going to happen. It's not a shocking, like, twist or anything, you know. Oh my God, what's going to happen with these rebel forces? I don't know.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, what, I haven't read anything. Have you read anything? Do you know why they chose to go with this character?
No. I don't know why they decide. Well, I mean,
because it does seem kind of defeatist. Because if
he's
we've watched
kind of the.
it,
If you're watching Rogue One, he's the one you want to know. Well, what was his story? Because we figure out what her story is. We don't necessarily know what his story was.
yeah.
He was just in it.
Well, and of all the people in that movie, he was the most, like, interesting. Like you said, he was the one that we would most be like, oh, I could connect to him. Like, we could be pals or whatever, right? And so.
And I think what Disney's trying to do is make sure that more Hispanic actors are at the forefront.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, Electric Dream says, yeah, he was Force sensitive, not Jedi. He was trained somewhere, just not as an official Jedi, yeah. Tom said he really liked Rogue One because of the whole Dirty Dozen feel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that. So far, I'm really digging the show. Well, how are you feeling about it?
Well,
I have to rewatch the last show because I fell asleep.
which is a shame because the last one was good. I wasn't really sure about it at first because, again, you know what's going to happen, right?
Right.
And
You
I
do,
knew it was
you
leading
do,
to a
but then you
war.
don't know what's gonna happen.
Right. But I knew it was like leading to a war movie and stuff like that. And I was worried that maybe they've Star Wars saturated us, which I don't know how you can, because I love the Star Wars universe and I could like totally live there if someone would let me. But I don't know, I was just kind of all kinds of worried about it when we first started watching it. And I had kind of, I was trying not to convince myself that I was going to dislike it before I even started it. I try not to like talk myself out of things before we start it. Okay, that was my fault. That was my fault. My fault was the audio, okay? It had 2 bars, and I told Vince, we don't need new batteries. We don't need any batteries. It's fine. We needed batteries. Whoopsie. So for me, you can always drag me into a good story when I see somebody with a troubled childhood, and I think that's like the teacher in me.
Mm-hmm.
And then they went through something, and again, you're getting that. I do very much like how the writers are pulling the, you know, the cowboy and Indian feel in for us. And so you're getting that kind of like Native American feel with it for his childhood, because, you know, their planet is kind of being taken advantage of, right, and they're left behind to kind of fend for themselves, and it's not going well, you know. So I don't want to give you too much of the story.
Well, you know, people that haven't even seen it may have not seen the trailer. We have the trailer if we want to cue that up.
Oh yeah, okay, let's do that. I think I know how to do that.
To steal from the Empire? You just walk in like you belong. They're so proud of themselves. So fat and satisfied. They can't imagine that someone like me would ever get inside their house.
Cassian Andor. The Empire is choking us so slowly. We're starting not to notice. What I'm asking is this. Wouldn't you rather give it all to something real? I need all the heroes I can get.
For the greater good.
Call it what you will.
Let's call it war.
There's fermenting out there, son. Pockets of fermenting.
You're in my net. Are you a fish? Or are you a thief?
You're slipping. I'm not slipping. I've just been hiding for too long.
As long as everyone thinks I'm an irritation, there's a good chance they'll miss what I'm really doing.
What are you really doing?
This is what revolution looks like.
tired of losing.
Oh, wow. Okay. So even
So, yeah.
I hadn't seen that. That looks really good, actually. I probably guess
Yeah.
I should have watched that.
So
before we
it
started watching
goes
it.
through like the first 4 episodes. Like easy.
Oh, that was way more than the first 4 episodes. Like way, way, way more.
Well, yeah, there was more, but yeah.
Like way, way more. Yeah. That was a
But
lot.
a lot of it was the first 4 episodes.
Not really. I didn't see what you saw. The first 4, to me.
This is how she watches shows.
To me, the first 4 episodes were all background stuff. So you're seeing Andor on the planet that he's on now. That you're seeing him try to survive. You're seeing him, work and steal. You're seeing his mom, who his family unit kind of is. You're seeing how he is with robots. The first 3 episodes are really just about Andor and where he is right then and there before everything happens, before he gets contacted
A lot
to
of the
become
big
part
parts
of the
that
rebellion.
are in that trailer happen in the first 3 episodes.
I guess so.
When he talks about like going in and they don't expect me because they're so.
Bye, Electric Dreams. He has to go cook.
Oh.
Still not cooking for us, but.
How he says it's so easy to go in because they're so full of themselves. They think nobody can like get through their defense.
Didn't he just say that in the episode this week?
No, he said it in episode 3.
Did he?
Yeah.
When he's telling her about that part that he stole.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right. I remember that now. Yeah.
And that was like my favorite line in the movie or in the show. I was just like, oh, that's awesome.
But it's very true of entities that get too cocky, too big for themselves, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's very true for certain people who are good at just flying under the radar, right? There are certain people, and he's one of them, who can he has a certain confidence, but not too much confidence, if that makes sense. It's just like the perfect amount. And so he is that type of person that could walk around and be anyone, basically. And
Just
he could
act
fit
like
in
you belong
just
there.
act like you belong there. Act like you're supposed to be there. It's like, what is that funny? Oh my God. There was a funny show. Oh, The Marvelous Miss Maisel. It reminds me of when her manager is living there in the where the rich people vacation or whatever, and she just keeps walking around with like plungers and stuff like that and tools and stuff, and like people think she works there and she never does. She's just like hiding out there or whatever. So that's kind of what he's doing too. He's like,
Right.
I can just put on the clothing of any of them. I just walk around like I belong here, and all of a sudden I belong here, And so I'm hoping that they're going to take that skill set and then show him kind of training some of these others to kind of do the same thing, so that we're getting these infiltrations
Right.
of the two. Tom said the Casa flashbacks are awesome, and he also said the Imperial scenes are mostly from stuff we haven't seen. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. We're building up to that. They're getting ready to. So he's right now, he's been taken, and Vince kind of missed some of this, but he went with the guy who met him in the big crashy scene. And I'm trying not to give away too much to those of y'all that haven't seen it yet. But so he meets Skarsgård, who I totally love too. He's just like so awesome. And big things happen, obviously. And then so in this newest episode, Skarsgård convinces him to go with him, and then kind of drops him off with this rebel group
Mm-hmm.
and tells the leader of the rebel group, "You're taking this guy." And the leader's like, "The heck I am." So there's like that. And then the leader's like, "Well, I guess, like, I kind of needed somebody." So there's this kind of animosity already for Andor, and then he gets in with the rest of the group and there's an animosity. And you start to see people come in that are higher ranking and stuff that are
Right.
part of this, and they've been like leaking stuff and helping stuff and everything, and they're suspicious of Andor because it's the last minute before this big plan is supposed to go off.
Mm-hmm.
And they're letting this guy in that nobody knows, but they accept him because he's just him and he's just kind of chill.
Go to just producer.
Oh,
It's the one that says
Yeah.
just producer.
so he's just him and he's just kind of chill, and he just like makes himself part of the group, and he shows that he has skill sets and that he's like good at things, and so they all just kind of accept him and take him in. So I thought that was really interesting. And then one of the things that I really liked about this newest episode was I'm very rarely am I shocked by anything that happens in a show. I can usually see it coming a mile away, or Vincent has told me what's happening from a mile away. And so I was shocked to find out who Skarsgård is in the world. And I don't want to give that away either because it kind of...
I don't know, because I fell asleep.
Because you fell asleep. You fell
Yeah.
asleep. So I don't want to give that away because I don't want to ruin that for people, because it's a really good moment where you're like, shut up. No, he's not. So it's kind of like pretty cool. So I'm pretty invested in it now. I was afraid that I wasn't going to be invested and that I wasn't really going to like it and I wasn't going to want to watch it.
Because, like, I like everything. She hates everything.
I do. I hate everything. I kind of like nitpick stuff, and maybe it's because I'm cranky and old. I don't know. I want things to be like a certain way or a certain level, and sometimes they're not. And this particular thing, it's just because of the genre. It just wasn't, the movie itself just wasn't my genre. There were parts of the movie that I really liked.
But the show, I've been liking.
But overall.
Are you liking the show?
Yes. So overall,
Okay.
I am enjoying the show. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. 'Cause
And
I-
I'm excited to see, especially now that I've seen the trailer, because I had never seen the trailer. This was really literally the first time I had seen the trailer. So now that I've
No,
seen,
the trailer's awesome.
yeah,
Like,
yes, and like now that I see where this show is going, I'm like, oh, like I'm invested in that. Like I want to see, and I think some of what might turn me a little bit and might make me grumpy is that I know that this group of rebels, they're going to win maybe the battle, but they're not going to win the war, and it's going to be long and hard fought.
Right.
So I think that may like upset me a little bit, and that like...
But why should it upset you? You know that's what's supposed to happen.
No, and I'm not upset that they're doing it correctly. It's just that I don't know. I get emotionally like invested in characters and everything, and then when they go through a hard time, and then I know that they're not gonna they're gonna be integral to setting things in motion that set things in motion that set things in motion that eventually get to someplace, and so they have something, but. Like, I don't know, I get all upset about stuff. I don't know how to explain it. Tom says, hi to Mr. Ankin. He's a bad boy. Mr. Stinky Boy. Now he's going to push my chair. No. Buddy, come over here. Come over here.
Are we going to see Leia?
We saw, I don't know, we saw Maz in there, didn't we?
I look like it.
Look like her with the
Yeah.
things, and so that like she's old because she's with Rey much later on. So remind me, in Rogue One, they're getting the Death Star plans that then they're going to use for Luke to shoot the thing in the hole to make the boom boom. Is that what's
Something like that.
right?
Well, it was kind of like before that.
So then Leia may still be like itty bitty Leia at this point. She's not there yet. So, and she's kind of our new Grogu, not gonna lie. But they may have filmed a lot of this before they knew how excited we were all going to be about little Miss Leia and her little sass and her attitude. So they may not give us like that, right? And I don't think there's any reason to show her. So I think if they did, that would just kind of be like here we're throwing stuff in. It's like throwing Mando into the Boba Fett thing. It's like here we're trying to appease you and throw stuff in because we know that you like it rather than just build a good story. So I'd rather just not see Leia.
So Leia's an adult at this time.
Oh, she is an adult? Okay. Well, and then that'll be interesting trying to use like the likeness of Carrie to... Look, why does he have a battery? Anakin Lucas Guzman. Come here and lay down. Sorry, the dog's being naughty. Well, that's good to know, Tom. So I wasn't sure where we were in the timeline. I thought this was a bit before we get to episodes 4, 5, and 6. So it's kind of like right at the beginning of 4, maybe?
Maybe.
So... But yeah, I don't think there's any reason to show us them. Like, we know what they're... I mean, we kind of don't know everything that Leia's going through, right? Because even in 4, we kind of just... I mean, we missed that whole between 3 and 4. Like, here she's born, oh, and then we get a little bit of her in the Obi-Wan, and then she's grown in 4, 5, and 6, right? And so we get that story of her already joining the rebellion. So I know that that's part of what the point of Obi-Wan is to show us that...
So Leia's probably 18 or so.
Yeah. Well, she's pretty young. A few years before the Death Star is destroyed. Okay. Yeah, I didn't know. I mean, obviously I knew it was like a few years before, but I didn't know like how many years are we, like how long have we had these plans and are we working to get the right... Because that's the thing, and I think that that's what Andor is going to show, is you have a rebellion like this, but it's like, okay, it's like chess, right? So you've got to get this place, then this piece in place, and this person in place, and then you have to have a redundancy in case that doesn't work, and then you need to move this piece over here and move this piece over there. So I was thinking it was like a little bit earlier, but I haven't read anything, so I'm just kind of going based off what I think is happening, and I'm not sure, because I definitely think, and I think Star Wars did a good job of kind of showing us that in all of the iterations, all of the movies and all of the shows, it is this grassroots rebellion, and so it is about like getting people in place. Like they even showed us that in Obi-Wan. I didn't even really like the character, but the officer that was like helping them out.
Yeah.
It was necessary to show us that they do have some people up here, right?
Mm-hmm.
That are going to help them out. So, and you missed, were you awake enough to see some of the arrogance of what they showed with like the Empire?
A little bit of it. That's when I started dozing off.
So what did you think, I mean, so far of kind of like the starkness, like they're showing like it's really stark and like white. Did you notice that? Like it's really stark and white in there. What did you think of, like, I guess that decision to make it look like that?
They played with light and dark a lot in Star Wars in the movies. Because they even like switch it up in Return of the Jedi, dressing Luke in black. So I don't know. Maybe they're just kind of showing the dichotomy of stuff. Because you have stormtroopers that are white.
Well, and I wonder if it's that, if they're trying to show the light and the dark, or they're trying to show it, to me, and this is just to me, this is how I read it, but when we see where Cassian is, and it's where the people are, right? And it's kind of gritty and dirty, but the people are dressed kind of differently, and they're kind of shabby, and they're kind of messy, right? And so they're this grassroots rebellion, right? And they're in the trees, and they're in the villages and stuff like that. And then you get this
We got to
starkness
see
of the
Coruscant,
Empire.
didn't we?
Huh?
We got to see Coruscant, didn't we?
Yes. But still kind of gritty and, messy, gritty kind of stuff. And so you're getting to see these Empire offices, and it's almost like in Loki, where you're seeing like the upper management or whatever, And so it's I think, to me, and I may be wrong, but I think it's kind of a statement on like power and upper management and oh my gosh, what happened? I didn't touch anything.
I know you didn't.
Okay. And things like that, and it's trying to show the starkness of...
Click on together. That one.
Okay. It's trying to show I think that it's trying to show like the coldness and the starkness of the Empire. Like the Empire is cold and calculated and hateful, right? And they're all just looking, the people that are there are just looking for power and to move up and to gain. And you're even going to see that in this most recent episode is there's officers, and they're kind of bickering at each other, and they're trying to like take bits of things that have happened to raise themselves up. They're like stabbing each other in the back.
I think I'm going to watch this tonight. So
yeah. They're really like stabbing each other in the back. So you get this real sense of like the Empire is just hatred, right? It's just built on hatred and power and trying to climb to the top. It's not built on friendships so I think they're trying to show that starkness. Like it, again, it's kind of like that Harry Potter kind of vibe where it's like, here's the little friend group of Harry and all of his friends, and they're going to defeat Voldemort.
Right.
And that hatred and stuff where they're all trying to stab themselves in the back and be like Voldemort's number one guy. That's kind of what we're starting to see with the Empire is they could give two poops about each other. They're just going to try to stab each other in the back to like move up and get a better position and get a better officer role. And
so it's not being like Harry Potter. Harry Potter was being like Star Wars.
Yes.
It's like Star Wars, but with crappier lightsabers.
But like Harry Potter came after Star Wars, so yes.
Wands.
Somebody did that once before. You sent me that, right?
What?
The parallels between Star Wars and
Yeah.
Harry Potter? Yeah. And it kind of like blows your mind. So if you've never seen that, like look it up, Google it, like parallels between Harry Potter and Star Wars, and you're like, oh, she's a thief. How dare she? Shame on her. But I think there's a lot of parallels in general. So of like any kind of storytelling you do, right? There's tropes and there's parallels and things like that. So yes, Tom says yes, he likes that too. He likes that it's coldly antiseptic, and that's exactly what you're getting. Okay, good, Tom, because that was kind of what I was feeling. So sometimes I'm like, am I like reading too much into this? And I probably am sometimes, but that's just like how I am. Even though I'm on my phone, like I'm totally analyzing it as I'm on my phone. So yeah. So is there anything that you're really hoping to see, Vince, as it goes along? Like what's something that you're like really hoping for?
Well, I'm really hoping to see Vader. He should be there.
I would think so.
So that's going to be a big one. And like we were talking about before, do we see Cal here?
Yeah, I'd like to see that.
Because this is probably around the same time. So,
And then what's the name of the robot?
Oh, because I think we get a glimpse of him in the trailer. Get a glimpse of the robot.
I was kind
in
of
the
trying
trailer.
to look for him. I can't remember. It's K something. Oh God, I forgot.
Yeah.
But he was like one of the best characters.
Yes, he was.
Oh God, what is his name? It just like. Tom says yes, he wants to see Vader. Tom, tell me, what is the robot's name? I totally, like, my brain just totally blanked out. But that robot is hilarious. So, and he and Andor have a relationship, a real sassy relationship.
K2SO.
K2SO, there you go. They have a really sassy relationship, so I would love to see, and maybe we don't get that this season, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, maybe at the end of the season we get that. That's where they're going to lead us to, maybe for season 2, and that would totally be a reason to get people to come back, I think, for season 2, because I'm not gonna lie, but I think the droids are definitely, yeah, Tom just told us, K2SO. I think the droids are definitely a pull for some people, and a
Right.
reason why some people watch them, because a lot of the times they're like the comedic relief or whatever, you know. R2D2
But
and
it's
C3PO are
gone.
like Abbott and Costello, you know.
But it's gone so much further than C3PO and R2D2. They're so much better than the androids.
Well, yeah, and if you think about it, like, you know, 3PO was created by Anakin when Anakin was a kid. So it's amazing how well 3PO does, considering, you know, where he began and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, I'll always have a place in my heart for 3PO and R2. R2's my guy. Like, you know me. I love R2, you know. He is so much sass without speaking our language. Like, with beeps and boops, he is so much sass. Like, he's everything, you know. and they tried to kind of replicate that with BB-8, and we got some of that. I'm glad that BB-8 kind of has his own personality.
Yeah.
He mirrored R2 a lot. But I don't think any of the droids will ever be like 3PO. 3PO is just, he's very much Sheldon, you know, and I so wish I could find that. I wish I could find that drawing that I had Freddie do for me that he sent me years ago, and I've lost it. It was the best thing ever.
R2.
And it was 3PO, and he's knocking on the door, and it was so cute. Freddie did such a good job, and I loved it, and I lost it. He just did it real quick for me and sent it to me digitally, but it was great. So yeah, I'll be excited to see, because they did kind of give us a precursor, because Andor does have a droid at the beginning. You see in the first 3 episodes that he does have a droid that he works with closely and he communicates with, which ends up kind of getting him in trouble if you watch that. So I think we are going to see a good connection with the robots as well. So yeah, I think I'm going to like it after all.
Yeah. Yeah, I am. I'm definitely liking it right now. I was gonna like it from the beginning, though. That's me.
Well, is there anything that they could do to make you not like it? And if you say put Ruby Rose in it, I'm going to throw you out of the window. No, but seriously, is there anything they could do to make you not like it, do you think?
I don't know. It'd be hard. Because if they put any, like, cameos, I'm fine with the cameos. Like, you can like I said, you can have Ahsoka. Can have Cal. I mean,
we're going to have Maz.
You're going to have Maz.
You're going to have K2SO. Yeah. You're going to have Anakin. That's the one you want. Well, Vader. He's Vader now.
Vader.
That broke my heart in Obi-Wan. That crushed my soul. I'm still not ready to talk about that. It was so good. It was so good. It was so good. It was so bloody good. Like,
yeah.
Crushed my heart. Crushed my soul.
I think the next Obi-Wan Kenobi is going to push me to finish off my sabers.
I hope so.
So I'm getting to that point where I need to finish them off.
All
Get them
right.
going. So, yeah, no, that was Andor. I enjoyed it. Had a good time with it. You should watch it. It was really good. Thanks for checking us out. I really appreciate that. If you haven't clicked on that subscribe button, click on the subscribe button and click on the notification bell so next time we go live, you'll know. But thanks for checking us out. I'm Vince.
I'm Colleen.
Geek
Out essay.